will allow you to experience that energy and to use it to raise your consciousness. While other people will be experiencing being shut down by this energy because they haven't attuned themselves to those changes. So the meditations that I want to share with you from the Holonomic healing are to help you begin attuning your energy field so that you can process things which are otherwise maybe not going to move the same. And I'm going to take you through in a little bit later a sequence of processes of breathing and focus, and we're going to go through and we're going to clear out a few things. Because where your attention goes, energy flows, and your consciousness is a fourth dimensional aspect of yourself as much as it is the energy which makes the choices for your physical body. So in Mystery School Learning, we are open-minded about other dimensions because we experience ourselves at different levels of consciousness, and we go through the levels in order to clear the trail so that more people can follow and access those planes of vibration. Because you literally can change your own genetic field, though it takes a very particular alignment of intentions and energy momentum. Just like a Buddhist master can literally alter the weather through a ceremony of intricate procedure that must be performed appropriately for it to occur appropriately, the result. Same is with some of the alchemy of our own body, of our own consciousness. So certain things are waiting for us to tune in, and our higher self is in a completely different perspective than where our everyday thought forms have been. Because our everyday thought forms are what we'll call 3- and 4-dimensional regurgitations of planetary thought. They're really useless. Your thoughts at that level have no power in the mass consciousness. But when you bring forward a divine thought, then you can ultimately change matter. And the first way to start is by changing the frequency of the water in your body, and by altering your body and bringing current in your body. Generating current, channeling the current, grounding the current, working with the current, using your breath, understanding the flow dynamic of your own energy system, which we're going to do a quick little crash course this evening. We'll be jumping around for a little bit in some of these concepts until I close a few viewpoints, and then we'll move on. Again, I'm going to say that as the sun increases in the intensity of its transmission of energy, the electromagnetic field of the planet is shrinking rapidly. It is shrinking enough to where airlines are lowering flight paths regularly. The magnetic field is shifting enough to where they have to repaint the lines now more regularly. Okay? Because as the magnetic field of the planet decreases, all of that radiation is now penetrating our grid. And we are now in the point of purification or rapture, or whatever you want to call it, where the sun is going to purify us. The sun, in ancient times, we connected with as the raw vibration, the vibration of the consciousness of what we call the sun. Shamans have known since the beginning of time that all living systems are coordinated by consciousness function, and every system, big or small, is connected to a life stream. And that is what governs evolution and progress for all creation. So the intelligence that's within the sun is very high. It's a very high stream of intelligence. And when you begin accessing the intelligence that's in the sun, you begin receiving light directly, you see, because the sun is a necessary component to the biochemical function of your body and also your consciousness, because I'm going to lay out a few concepts here and then sit with them, reflect upon them in many different ways. The understanding that I am perceiving this through is based upon a fourth dimensional principle of transpersonal consciousness, which is looking at this from a certain perspective. Don't worry about the words that I use that are complicated. I'll use them enough. You'll get a feeling of what I mean. We're all going to create a new language before we're done with this planet anyways. And the new language is going to take back into account the power from the old language and put things back into perception. The language of the heart, the language of light, which will unify all of the tribes of the planet, which will be the true super science and true teachings of creation, which will be revealed to humanity. It's already being revealed to many in many ways, though it will be revealed in a greater unity of one. So get ready. Get ready for the visions, get ready for the information, get ready for the intuition, because the sun is going to keep bringing it, you see. And we can either be afraid of that process of change, and then what happens is if you recoil from change because of fear, you create a recursive process, and all of a sudden your shadow projections are now in front of you, and now you're having to process all of your unconscious resistance just because you're not moving through it. You see, we don't have time to process every single factor in our subconscious consciously. We need to set the bow of the vehicle of light, and we need to transverse through the planes which we are in. And your soul is in an astral plane. And that astral plane is a multi-leveled layer of bioplasmic energy and cosmic plasmic energy all combined together. And for most of us, and for many, if not all people on the world, we are sick fourth dimensionally as we are third dimensionally. We are sick because we are living in an artificial reality that we assume is real, and it leaves us with the inability to comprehend the natural state that we must care for and preserve and receive. This artificial reality is based in our consciousness, so we create it by following through with all of the programming and not listening to the deeper wavelength. You see. Because love, true love, universal love, it is not in this erratic and imbalanced wavelength. It is carrying the whole creation. It's like the frequency a whale puts out, resonating over the whole planet. That's the vibration of love. And that carrier frequency, it has many waves. And we're constantly fluctuating through those waves. And there's a black hole and there's a white hole in your own vibrational field. So you can open up emotional entropy and open up that black hole and begin to collapse yourself, or you can activate your energy centers and open up what we'll call secondary physical function. Primary physical function is what the body does that we're all aware of. It's obvious to doctors and many people what the body is doing physically. Though bioenergetically what the body is doing is more complicated. We have to take all of the arts, acupuncture, Ayurvedic medicine. We have to take all of them and put them together to understand the teachings of the etheric body and how it works. Though most important teaching is your thoughts are what are controlling its condition. And you'll need the power to clear out the thought forms which are impacting in your body, in your vibration. Because the planet is going to keep shifting her frequency, because as the magnetic field decreases, her heartbeat excites, you see. And when that heartbeat excites, the earth is moving your energy. And if you're not moving with the earth and her energy system, then you're just going to get caught up in your own duality and in the artificial reality. To just put it in a simple context, we'll say that this artificial reality is a matrix of illusion which we are infected by in dimensions 2, 3, and 4. It is an illusion that we fight in our blood and in our cell structure through the chemistry of our body. It is an illusion we fight inside of the physical objects and compounds that those viruses lead to. And fourth dimensionally, we are fighting parasites within our mind, within our emotions, and within a whole other construct of the universe, which is right here, right now. And if we don't do something about these energy forms which are building around us and magnetizing, then we start shutting down. Because that old armor of the past where you could just put there, you'll get crimped in it. Okay? Because you don't want to take on these forces. You want to be transparent to these astral illusions. Okay? You don't want all of that emotional energy which is built up psychoenergetically in your family to transfer to you every time you get a phone call and you just want to say hi. You need to be able to process the energy. You need to be able to deal with the energy. The only way to do that is to balance out the duality and to stay aware, is to stay clear, and to be aware of your real feelings, your real thoughts, your real intentions, and to ultimately take responsibility for what you're feeling and what you're experiencing. Because that's the key. We need to get out of the projection so that we are identifying with what we are experiencing from the awareness that we are responsible for it. Then we have the power to change it. So we are going to clear out all kinds of things with this meditation. First, we're going to just tune into the elements, and we're going to connect with the past for a moment. We're going to do just a little shamanic practice. Be as comfortable as you can. The sacred drum represents the heartbeat of our mother. Every ceremony has a sacred fire, a sacred heartbeat. Because the heartbeat of life pulsates in every healthy living creature. And when we open our hearts to the heartbeat of Mother Earth and the heartbeat of Grandfather Sun and the heartbeat of all of this light within the molecules of our being, then we begin to remember. So long we've been walking in circles, assuming that we have so much to learn, and enduring so many learning curves just because someone forgot to remind us or invite us how to be willing to remember. So we're all here to remember. To remember where we came from in light, and to remember where we're going in life. Because the shamans, the masters, and the gentle and wise spirits which sit peacefully in the high points of the earth, waiting for us to listen, they love us. And their prayers are for us. Take a moment and tune your heart into the prayers from the elders that go to the world. They speak them to all people. Those prayers are so important because they're for everything that everyone really needs. Not what they think they need, what they really need. Though only those who have watched this span of time from the wise point of a healing mind, only those who listen do really know. Because when we listen, we're able to feel, and we're able to allow the messages and the wisdom to be heard. The wisdom is everywhere. It's inside the function of all that is. It's a guiding principle of synchronicity which unifies all of these uncanny factors of relation. And we walk not as sleepwalkers. We walk as those who choose to remember. Those who choose an intention which has the power, which has the light, which has the consciousness to preserve the past and the future with love. Right now, make sure that your heart is centered properly to the past. Make sure that you have respect for all of the things that you have learned through, grown through, loved through, and healed. No matter what it was, no matter what it took you through, right now honor it. And in your heart, bow to it. And set free all of those relations which you have held against yourself. Right now, we choose to humbly bow to our past. give thanks for the changes which have led to now, with respect and appreciation for the truth of life. We hold a sacred memory of the past in our hearts. Because in the past we were wise. We were glorious engineers which cultivated art and science to such great feats. We were explorers and expanders of life. And we came as souls from the stars. Though we are born of the crystals of the earth, so we are protected by the element of earth, which is this body. We are protected by the sacred elements of this earth. The sacred vessel of our body, this sacred carbon unit of energy, this sacred carbon body which has been compressed through time and process and is ready to reveal a diamond. The diamond is the true form within, that prismatic clarity awaiting to be revealed. It is your true self awaiting to be experienced and seen through the kindness of your motivations and through the effectiveness of your decisions. The spirit of love guides all of us through the elements of life, asking us only to respect what we have been giving, asking us only to caretake of what we have been given and of what we have created. So we must return to a wisdom in our hearts together as a sacred family and claim these elements and to position them in a peaceful state. Because we have all been medicine women and medicine men. We have all experienced what it takes to heal our family, what it takes to guide our family, what it takes to support our community. So as you breathe, acknowledge that the spirit of the earth hears your dreams. She feels your real needs and she wishes to respond to them through her life force, through her source consciousness, through the alchemy of your creative digestion. Creative because everything around you, you are digesting. So you must create sacred space in your heart and in your mind. For some, this will look like a temple of light, and others a castle, and to others a simple clearing in the woods. But in our hearts and in our minds is a temple of light, which unifies the teachings of our spirit. Aho, Mother Earth, Tukashila, Makas Gagaya, thank you so much for having us in this sacred moment. We choose to receive your wisdom and your knowledge of our being and of our body and of this life. We give thanks through our appreciation of all of your creatures, the winged, the four-legged, the two-legged, the finned. We give thanks for all of your elements, all of your gems which contain Grandfather Sun's blessing. Grandfather Sun's blessing, those frequencies of light which have crystallized into nutrients, into sustenance, into the true food of the gods. The clusters of light which awaken our food and awaken our body. We create those clusters of light when our heart spins with passion and when our vibration surges with chi. hearts to the Son, Grandfather's Son, because we are all a tree of life, and our thoughts are but the leaves upon the tree of our mind, and we must prune these thoughts with passion, which is the winds of change, and we must let loose of all of our old thoughts and branches without fear or hesitation, embracing the storm which we created to purify ourselves, embracing the new growth which awaits the surrender. Grandfather Son extends to you a bridge of light. It comes from the heart of the Son. It goes to the heart of your soul. It reminds you that no matter where you're at on the planet, that you are light and you are receiving light. Whether it is the light of the day or the light which passes through the earth and penetrates our energetic systems, subtly affecting us. We are the light. And take a deep breath and thank Grandfather Son. Remind Grandfather Son that you're going to listen to the wisdom of the raw vibration, whether it is through the raw food that you eat or the energy that you receive by being in the sun. Just receiving the sun and its energy and having a vibration of appreciation for it will change how things show up in your future. Because the energy flow, which is your future, is connected to the stream of energy which comes from the sun. And the energy flow, which is your past, is connected to the pulse that links you to the earth. In just a moment, we're going to do some breath work. And we're going to move our energy field. We'll do a few basic meditations first. You see, where your attention goes, energy flows. And the key is to use your breath to move the energy. Because your breath is connected to sound and light. Because creation is a manifestation of consciousness reflecting itself as sound, light, and vibration, existing as this body. But the body isn't so static, it isn't so locked in as much as it appears, and that we can actually unlock ourselves just by simply surrendering something in our heart that we know no longer serves, but we've been holding on to